So it all talk about the meeting where Velvet talked about how an angel was slain. However, this time, more people were focused on it. Velvet would sing a song about coming together, about fighting together, instead of bragging to everyone in her song like she did before. As everyone looked at her, they were considering fighting back, but they didn't know how. They thought it was too risky. Camilla Carmine noticed this, as she said, the meeting is over, but Velvet, stay here. She says, why would I stay with an old person like you? Just stay. As everyone else left, she said, what is the meaning of this?
Camilla Carmine would walk closer to Velvet and say, are you serious? Are you serious about fighting the angels, fighting the exorcist? If you are, I have a way to defeat them. I have techniques and things that could destroy them, because I was the one that took down the angel. As Velvet wouldn't believe her at first, but then as she began to show her, she did, and she found a new respect for her. Velvet was arrogant, sure, but she still respected strength. After all, she did have a team with the V's. So, what's our plan? I need you to get to the V's and others to stand up. If you really want to fight back, then come with me. However, I'm scared of retaliation of heaven, but if we have the princess on our side, retaliation will not be so severe. Are you saying we team up with that Welv? Yes, that's why I didn't want to tell you, because I know you have a problem with that hotel. However, if you put that aside, we can win.
As suddenly Velvet would say, well, I did want to fight back. Sung a whole song about it. I guess it'd be hypocritical if I said I didn't do it. Alright, fine. I'll talk to the V's. But afterwards, you better supply us. I will. And I'll supply other overlords too. Velvet would say, what? This is a chance for us all to stand up. For us all to fight back. And if we're able to win this battle, it will impress everyone. And heaven will realize it can no longer mess with us. And it will ensure our safety. As in Velvet left, Camilla Carmine sat down. She had to do this. She had a deeper reason for doing this too. She knew it would unite the overlords. There was a big age gap between the younger overlords and the older overlords. The younger overlords who were in like the phones and new technology and new ways of spreading their influence. And the older ones who enjoyed the good old-fashioned evil of being an overlord. However, she was hoping if they fought together, it would bond them. As then we cut back to Velvet.
Velvet would then walk over to Val and, well, Vox. As they both looked at her, they said, what's up? As she said, we need to ally with Camilla Carmine to defeat the exorcist. As suddenly Vox said, what the F? Why would I ever do that? We're better than them. They're a bunch of old dusty bones. Val would say, yeah, besides, none of them are attractive as me. As then Velvet says, I don't care what you guys think. If we did this, we could stand up. Besides, if we're the only other overlords that don't fight, everyone would call us cowards. Our reputation would be crushed. Sure, people would still work for us out of fear, but it'll be hard to get new clients. And worst of all, the other overlords wouldn't take us seriously. As they both looked at her, they knew she was right. As Val said, fine. But can we really trust her? Fox says, don't worry, I have a plan. See, when Alistair is distracted, I know exactly what to do. I'll then attack him from behind and take him out as we're all fighting together. Velvet would say, I don't know that's a good idea. That can cause division between us all if they see you do it. No one would see me. Val would say, ooh, interesting, but one little question. How does that help us in any way, shape, or form? Fox would say, what do you mean? I got rid of him. Getting rid of him is your thing. That's what you're into, not me. That doesn't help us at all. Velvet would say, yeah, he's got a point. Shut up. As Vox would walk off.
As Vox was angry, he wanted everyone to share his hatred that he did, hatred towards the radio demon. He believed he was a threat to the V's, and he would prove it to everyone once and for all. As that was going on, we cut to Charlie, as she was called to meet Camilla Carmine with Alistair. As Charlie walked to Camilla Carmine, Charlie would then look around confused. What's going on? Why am I here? Charlie would say, as she saw overlords all around her. As Jestiel said, we need someone to follow behind, someone to fight with. You are that person, Alistair would say.
As Charlie was even more confused, Jestiel would start to chime in. We see you as a leader, someone who can lead us. Alistair would grab her hand and gently drag her away. Charlie would say, what is happening? Alistair and Charlie would start to talk. Alistair would say, listen here. I've gathered all these overlords for a very specific reason. They want to fight back against the angels, and that's the only way. This was before Charlie had a meeting with Adam. I don't know. And by meeting, I mean the second meeting in heaven. As in, Alistair would say, "Come on now, darling, you need a backup plan. Besides, they can rally behind you. It can be a great experience." Charlie would start to think as she said, "All right." As then Alistair said, "Oh, you need to train. What? You have all this potential, darling. You need to start to use it." As Charlie would reluctantly agree, she would gather up all the overlords as they would all train together. As Charlie would then start to train with the other overlords, as they would all become more powerful and become stronger, and many of them had different people under them. The V's had their own army. The Velvet had her army. Rosie had her army. Each one had people under them that they could all work for. The army was massive, and their troops were massive too, and they were all preparing to war against heaven. They knew heaven was going to strike, and when it did, they would strike them. They had a plan, as Adam wouldn't know what hit him. As all this was going on and Charlie was getting stronger and stronger, Alistair walked off and began to think about his actions, began to think about everything. What led him here, and why he's here, and what can he do now? As Camilla Carmen would say, "Do you have a problem, Alistair?" Alistair would look at her and say, "Can I be free after this? I can finally get my freedom, right? After this, I can finally be free. I can finally be away." Camilla Carmine smirked and said, "Yes, you can." As then Alistair would then smirk himself, for this time was for real. For so long he was smiling without a purpose. For so long he was smiling for no reason. But this time, he smiled with a purpose. As we cut back to Charlie, Charlie was training with the others. As she managed to get stronger and stronger, she would improve her spells. She would improve her fighting style, and she would improve how she thought of the world. She still wanted to save sinners. She still wanted to save her people. But she also learned a valuable lesson. Sometimes words aren't enough. Sometimes you cannot convince people. And when this time comes, you have to fight for the people you love. You have to fight for the people you care for. And you have to use them to make you stronger. Use them to make you more powerful. And think of them to push you forward. Charlie learned this lesson as she trained with it every day. As Charlie trained with this lesson, as she trained with these ideals, she managed to get stronger. And as everything continued like in canon, things were getting ready as Adam was getting ready to attack the hotel. As time passed, soon it was the day before the battle. As they all gathered into the hotel, they had a plan. They would have a minor amount of forces around the hotel to distract them, as the rest would hide in sewer tunnels and get ready to strike once Alistair summoned a force field around them. They would surround the forces and use mass numbers and strength, as all the overlords would attack Adam, as all the exorcists should be distracted by the mass sinner army, using mass wave and peasant tactics. These tactics weren't so nice, but they were the best way to survive. As Charlie and everyone else was at the bar, Husk would say, "Well, any words, Charlie?" Charlie would say, "You know, I have a good feeling." After all, this is the first time that, well, all the overlords have gotten together since, well, ever. And I'm confident that it'll be enough. As Husk would say, "I hope you're right." As the next day came, Adam would fly down. As Adam flew down with his army, everything would go perfectly until the force field was put up. And many sinners and others surrounded them, running in, rushing the exorcist. As then Adam flew up to the building, something happened. As he fought Alistair one-on-one, suddenly he felt a huge volt of electricity go through his body. Then, all of a sudden, Gestial would summon a giant green arrow and launch it straight at Adam. As all the overlords surrounded and fought Adam with everything they had. Adam was shocked, and they didn't know how strong Adam was, so that's why they surrounded him, and that's why they hit him with one big blow. Lightning, green arrow, tentacles, and all their powers combined into one knocked Adam down. As then Alistair would grab a spear and start to laugh. "So, Adam, what does it feel like to be hunted? What does it feel like to be on the opposite end of this?" Adam would scream, "You can't do this to me! I was the first man! I was! As then Alistair would get rid of him. After that, though, Loot would not be able to escape. As Charlie and the rest would want them to escape, many of the overlords wouldn't, and they would hunt them down. No exorcist would make it out. Every single exorcist was destroyed. And that means that Loot wouldn't be able to carry out her plan in Season 2. And, well, that's impossible to know how that would affect things. And that's going to leave things off. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Link to a lot of this video in the comments below. I really enjoyed making it. I mean, it's kind of likely considering that, well, no matter who you are, the exorcists literally come for you. So, it makes sense if you want to get rid of them.
But yeah, I can see why it didn't happen, because that would be like, kind of overmetric. The whole reason they didn't do this in canon was because, well, they were scared what was going to happen. They had no idea what could happen. They had no idea what was going to happen. They had no idea what the heck was going on. So yeah, with that being heard, they decided that, well, it's probably best that they don't rise up. And if Charlie was a stronger leader, now I love Charlie, and Charlie managed to learn how to lead during the season 1. Well, they only had 1 season, so yeah, she learned how to lead. So yeah, considering that, if Charlie was a stronger and more competent figure, like I said, I love Charlie, she just hasn't been put in these situations yet, she could have probably gathered up way more overlords to her cause. And now that Adam's defeated, I feel like Charlie will gain her confidence, and Charlie would start to train and get stronger. Charlie has so much potential, I think she will become the second strongest in all of hell, if not the strongest, and surpass her father. Of course, that's just my opinion. I would love to hear your opinion on it, how strong you think Charlie is, and how strong you think Charlie can get. Also, let me know what you think is going to happen in Season 2. What is your theory for Season 2? What do you think will happen? Please let me know in the comments below. And also, no one's hit that thanks button ever, so if you hit that thanks button, I will guarantee to do any video you want. So yeah, I just want to put that out there. So yeah, love you all so much. You mean the world to me. Thank you for liking, thank you for supporting, thank you for being there for me, and thank you for always enjoying my content. Even though I've been through a lot, this channel has changed a lot, and it really means a lot to me that you're all there. It really means a lot to me that I have an audience like you, and I have all the channels, and I have all the audiences. It's crazy, because for the longest time, I wanted to be a YouTuber. I started with a crappy iPad that's gone now. I don't know what happened to it. It's probably in my old camper, but yeah, I'll probably never get that thing again. So, and my old channel was PepperyFriend96. You could probably still find it, but yeah. Then I started a new channel called Van Moose. Didn't really do much with it. That phone kind of went away because I couldn't pay a phone service, so that went away. And now I have this channel, which has been doing great. And I'm so glad I have an audience like you, and I'm so glad you're all watching me. It means the world. Love you all so much. Peace out.